Hey guys, it's Aubrey with Muttley Plans. I hope everybody's had a good week this week. My week has definitely, well, this past week now. I'm doing this on Sunday evening at 7:40. So, yeah, that's happening. Anyway, um yeah, this week was really hectic. I was not in my planner as much as I was hoping I would be. Um, so yeah, I'm just late with everything, but it's okay. We will survive. Obviously, at the bottom here at the beginning, I had no idea that you could not see the bottom until I was, editing this video, and well, it is what it is. So, Uh, I did decide, and I showed you the booklet at the beginning of this video, but I did decide to base my theme for this week off of a Happy Planner book, sticker book called Homestead. And um, honestly, I really liked it. I like the colors, I like the mood of it. It was it was really nice. It did a mix of bees and florals, and it had like these not quite pastel colors, but muted. There we go, muted colors. And then I did this layering over here on this top left hand. Where I just took a bunch of clear looking florals and I layered them, and I was like, hey, it's a bouquet. And I also apologize for the background noise. My husband is having the time of his life with his friends right now. So, life is lifing and I love it. So, it's pretty great. I did try to put this one important sticker to put all my to-dos under. I wound up pulling that off later on because, well, yeah, it just did not look good. So I pulled that off and I put a to-do sticker on there. That's from Brienne Nicole Designs. It's just it came in one of her sticker packets. But it's pretty run-of-the-mill. I'm sure you could get it wherever. Per usual, my YouTube sticker down there is also from Brienne Nicole Designs. And it is the cutest YouTube sticker ever. So, yes. As far as how my week went this week, it was very chaotic and not very on schedule at all. Where I live in Oklahoma, had so much rain and flooding this week that it completely made, yeah, it was just a weird week to have a routine, honestly. Um, we actually, all of the, oh my gosh, I hope you can hear him howling. I'm gonna be so happy if y'all can hear my husband just like cackling in the other room. I love him. Anyway, but yeah, the rain that we were having this past week made national news because of all the flooding and everything. And actually, Wednesday evening, they were even talking like our town, it's not necessarily little, I think it's like the fourth biggest city in Oklahoma, but our town uh actually might be cut in half because of the flooding until the flooding goes away. Luckily, it didn't happen. But it was interesting this week, not gonna lie. But anyway, yeah. So this week was interesting, to say the least. My to-dos were pretty much the same that they've been. I we did call on the lawnmower. I had my husband call this time because I was like, was the guy just being vague with me last week? Because, I'm a woman, or, what? So, had my husband call, and he got a more straightforward answer. Maybe the guy was just in a better mood. I don't know. But anyway, and so we should have a lawnmower next week. But the grass is not pausing for our lawnmower to get here. So, of course, I had to do some weed whacking Tuesday and Sunday to kind of help things out a little bit with all the rain and everything. Stuff's been growing like crazy. So, yeah, yikes. But yeah, so this week, like I said, was a little wonky job. On Monday, it was pretty normal stuff. I did stop by Joann's and pick up knitting stuff, so I did pick up a new hobby. Raise your hand if you knit. So I'd kind of dabbled in knitting before, but this time, you know how you just like know when you have a resolve to try something and like follow through on it. I kind of feel like I've got that resolve right now with knitting. I was like, I want to make something. I want to knit something. I want to learn how to knit because let's be honest, yeah, I don't know hardly anything about knitting. But it's been very fun. I've enjoyed the challenge. I think my brain kind of needed it, especially with everything that's been going on. It's kind of like I can accomplish something. You know, I can control my effort with this new hobby. I don't know if that came out right, but anyway, it's it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying like having to figure out the different stitches and stuff. So like yesterday I learned the difference between purling and knitting and how to get, you know, a stockinette stitch and stuff like that. So pretty fun. I've enjoyed it, you know. So yeah. You're gonna see a ton of knitting stuff in this plan with me because I've gone down a rabbit hole of knitting and I love it. No regrets. Anyway, yeah, I'm using a red Tombow, or not, wow. Nope, that's not a Tombow. That is definitely a mild liner. Don't listen to me about the names of markers right now, y'all. Anyway, so my mild liner, I'm using my red mild liner to mark in my work this week. I'm also using my Jinhao Century 100 fountain pen in the colorway Guava, which has Robert Oster's Oklahoma City ink in it. It's a very pretty green, the ink is. I like the ink. I don't like the pen. But you know, yeah, it is what it is. I'll still use it. To mark in all of my work stuff on Tuesday, it was raining heavily, heavily raining. And that should have tipped me off that it probably wasn't going to be too hot or too good on Wednesday, but you know, is what it is. So, yeah, real bad thunderstorms. And then I went to work and then I came home and I worked more. And yeah, the weather just kept on going and going and going. I did knock out some yard work when there was a pause, if you will. But after I got the yard work, like later that night, the storms were rough. Like, wake you up out of a dead sleep rough. And of course, our lovely pupper Velcro is terrified of storms. But she's not like the normal dog where they'll like go duck and hide somewhere like under the under the bed or in the closet or no. She's the kind that hyperventilates in your ear while you're trying to sleep. And so, yeah, there was no sleep to be had on Tuesday night, which was a crying shame. But then, luckily, on Wednesday, as you'll see here in a moment, and pause for the shaking, Velcro. Anyway, she you can hear her jingle a little bit because she had to scratch an itch. Anyway, but you'll see, so Wednesday it was so bad storming that they actually had us come in later for work than they planned or had wanted, I guess. Usually I go in at 5:30, but I got a call at like 5 or no, I get to work right at 5:30. I'm on the road by 5 usually, but it was storming so bad like I was contemplating like maybe I need to pump the brakes a little bit and wait until this calms down before I get on the road. And right about then they called, and or the system called and was like, we're gonna open at 10, so don't come in. I was like, bet. And I went straight back to bed, had coffee in the morning with KB, and then went to work. And of course, I don't know, and I'm sure it's with everybody, but I was so off kilter on Wednesday after having to like go in later than normal, just because I'm so used to a certain system in my office, because I do work alone. I'm the only athletic trainer for my battalion, and I have a specific system so that I can take care of all of my patients and give them quality care. And it was so off, like everything was out of whack on Wednesday at work. So yeah, I think I wound up having like 19 or 20 patients that I saw in that small amount of time that I was at work, which I think it wound up being about 4 hours. And I was gonna come home and do my notes and everything, and then the Wi-Fi was out, so I couldn't, which meant that I had to work longer on other days. And yeah, it was very interesting getting my hours in this week. But don't worry, my employer definitely got all of their money's worth out of me this week. So, but yeah, definitely a very crazy week. And then even after that, like I had gone in Wednesday, and Wednesday night they were like, we'll let you know at 1 a.m. if you'll even be able to come in. Because the flooding had gotten so bad in certain parts of the area that I live, that they were like, the flooding may be so bad that it actually cuts the city in half to where you can't even get onto the highway to get where you need to go. So that was pretty crazy. Luckily, the flooding didn't get as bad as they were thinking or preparing for. And so I was able to go in and have a normal day Thursday, and I just worked extra long on Thursday to make up for my missed hours on Wednesday. And then I had also worked a couple of hours ahead on Tuesday, not really expecting Wednesday to be the way it was, but it kind of worked out that I'm a workaholic, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So this week was just crazy. It was a lot of work, messed up schedules, lots of knitting, and yeah, that was basically the gist of my entire week. And a couple of naps were thrown in. Also, I have not been good. I have not been good at all. Oh, what are they barking at? These dogs, sometimes they are just extra. Oh, there's a deer out the window. I'm sorry, y'all might really not appreciate me talking about why the girls are making noises, but is what it is. Oh, they're gonna get really hyped up. 1 second. Okay, I think they're better. We have a doe and her baby that literally show up every evening about this time. And they do not care that we have 4 dogs that think that they're real dogs and can actually, do something to this deer. Um, but anyway, yeah. So that was a squirrel. Back to the planning. Friday was a lot of fun because um, I had my friend Dana came over and she actually spent 2 nights with us. And so that was a lot of fun. She came over a little bit later. She came over around 7:30 or 8 o'clock on Friday, and then we just watched a movie and hung out. It was a pretty chill time. I really like don't so most people I'm okay with them coming over, but I don't want them to stay type deal because it's exhausting. But she's actually pretty cool to come over, and we basically treat her like family. So because she is family, anyway. But she came over to spend the night. Because she and I had plans on Saturday to go thrifting or discount shopping because I love a good deal. And it just makes me so happy when I can buy something that's discounted. And there's this store called Shopology. I think I've talked about it before on here. But basically, anything that somebody sends back or returns at Amazon, I guess they don't always like refurbish and then, send it to other people. Um, and so this store buys like these different like containers of returned items from Amazon. Shopology does. And they like start off like everything in the store is $12 on Friday. And then it goes down by $2 every day after that. Um, until you get $2 Mondays. And it's kind of my spirit store, not gonna lie. Because you can get stuff like my husband found, I don't know, some techie thing that is usually $50 and he paid $6 for it. And I'm like, yes, this I could get behind this store. Reasonably priced stuff. Absolutely. And so that's actually what we went and did. We spent like an hour and a half in Shopology, which I'm not complaining about because I had great finds. I got like a Pilates bar. I got a ultrasonic toothbrush that's usually $30. Like, fantastic. This store had a Samsung ring in it. And obviously it didn't fit, otherwise I would have a new Samsung ring on my finger. But it had a Samsung ring and it was $6. And I was like, golly. Um, Anyway, I'll stop gushing about this store. So, but that's what we did on Saturday. We did that. Then we went to a thrift store, and then we went to Ollie's Bargain Outlet and Ross. So it was just a complete discount session, or not session, but a discount shopping day, and I love it. I don't like paying full price for anything. So it was right up my alley. 10 out of 10 recommend if you are a cheapo like me. Absolutely get your friends together and do a discount shopping day. Just hit all of the discount stores, maybe have a list of what you needed. I got some adult items like a rake and a hose. And stuff like that. But it was so much fun. It was like a treasure hunt. Fantastic. Anyway, moving on to today, Sunday, the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. We woke up. We went to church. Well, we got coffee on our way to church, which is absolutely needed every day. And then after that, my husband and I went grocery shopping. We went by the commissary. And then actually, I think we just went by the commissary and got groceries, then we came home and took a nap. And then I got up and I was energized today. So I did laundry, and then after I did laundry, I did cleaning, with the help of my husband, of course. And then I went out and I weed whacked the yard again, because there was still a part of the yard that I hadn't hit yet. And then got that, planted some flowers, and then I came in and I started filming this plan with me. And then, editing it, and now it is 8:40, and I'm finishing up this voiceover with y'all. I did get a new ink sample from my friend Dana because I pen-abled her and bought her a pen and like inks and stuff. And this is one of the inks. It was Pilot Iroshizuku. I write it down here. So it's like Azagao, maybe? Azagu? Anyway, I'm not sure how to say it, so I'm so sorry. But it was really good. It's a very pretty blue. I was thinking it would be more of a periwinkle just from the outside of the bottle, but it's very much a blue. And I'm happy to add that into my collection and see, I don't know, maybe Kelvin will like it. But yeah, that was my week, and this is a close-up. I'm gonna leave y'all here. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your week.